Hi, and welcome to this 8th video of Introduction to Python playlist. In this video, we will get acquainted with the concepts of control flow in Python part 2. We are going to look at the concepts like for and while loop, break, continue, and pass statements. So let's get started. What is a while loop? A while loop is a control flow statement that allows code to be executed repeatedly based on a given condition. It is used to execute some part of a code multiple times. So this is the syntax for while loop in Python. Let's just see an example of while loop. Okay, so I've done just some initial declarations so as to keep it handy. Okay, so imagine we are given a string Python. We are given a string basically, and we want to print each and every character of that string and the corresponding index at which index the character is present. So there is a small code written over here. So we initialize a variable name index to 0, the index starting from 0 position, and we mention a while loop. While index is less than len of Python, like the length of the string, while index is less than the length of the string, we print the character, what character is present at that position, and the index, like at what index the character is present, and then we increment it by 1. If we don't include this line in index plus equals to 1, what it will do is the condition index is less than the length of the Python will never get false, and it will go into an infinite loop. So let's just see what happens if I run this thing. Okay. Yeah. So we can see here is it printed up this line character and whatever the character is at what index it's present. It repeatedly printed that thing. So this is the use of the while loop. Now let's just move on to for loop. Okay. So what is a for loop? A for loop is used for iterating over a sequence, that is either a list, tuple, dictionary, set, or a string. Syntax for loop in a Python is for the variable name in the iterable, whatever the iterable we want to iterate. So let's just see another example for loop. Okay. So the base syntax says that we have to write one iterable. We have taken it here I in some range. So here I have used a range function. So what is a range function? Okay, so range function returns us a set of values from a given starting position to a given ending position. So it will give me all the values from 1 to 11 excluding 11. So I'll get values up to 10. So in this for loop, I'm just printing the number, like whatever the number we are receiving, we are iterating over, whatever the iteration is, I'm just printing it over here. Let's just run it and see what happens. Yes, we got this. So that's the functioning of for loop. Let's just see one more example. Here we have taken one dictionary. As said, we can take anything. We can take list, tuple, dictionary, a string, a set, etc. in for the for loop. So let's just see an example for the dictionary. In this dictionary, I have taken win for 1, draw for 0, and like lose for -1. So let's just print keys, just game.keys. Okay, now the keys is a single iterable, so we require only a single I over here, or a single iterable over here. Let's just run it. Yeah, we got win, draw, and lose. But what if we took it as items? Then we would get both the things, right? The key and the value in a pair. So in that case, only one iterable will not be enough. We would have to take one more iterable. So let's just add one more iterable I and j. So we print here I, and let's just say a colon over here, and we print the j, like whatever the value of that function, whatever the value of that key is. Let's just run it. Okay. It is items. Yeah, so it gave us an output like key and value pair. So that's the functioning of a for loop. Now let's just see what break, continue, and pass does. Okay, so a break statement terminates the current loop and resumes the execution at the next statement just after the loop. So whatever iteration you are in, it just breaks from that loop. The loop is terminated, and whatever the statement is written just after the loop completion is executed. Okay, then what is the continue statement? A continue statement returns the control at the beginning of the while loop. The continue statement rejects the remaining statements in the current iteration of the loop and removes the control back to the top of the loop. Okay, so what continue does is whenever you are in a certain iteration and when you call continue, so whatever the lines of code is written below continue, it would get skipped, and again it would enter into a new iteration. And like against what we have seen in a break, like break will cut the loop and directly execute whatever it's below, like it will basically exit the loop, but continue will just skip that much code and it will enter into a new iteration. Okay, now the pass statement. A pass statement is used when a statement is required syntactically, but you do not want any command or code to execute by that block of code, by that block of statement. So in that case, a pass statement is used. Syntax is very simple for these three statements. It's just the keyword break, continue, and pass. So let's again see an example of these three statements. Okay, so here we are. Here, imagine we have a list. Okay, so name, machine learning is cool. We have these machine learning is cool. Suppose we wanted to print only machine and learning. That's it. We don't want is and cool. So what can be done is we start with a for loop. Like we want everything from like everything in the name. Now we want to check if the word is. What we want to do is print whatever like values are there before is. We want to print everything. So what it does is it checks the condition if that iterable is equals to is. If yes, then it enters the if statement, and what it does is break. So after the execution of the break, the loop will get executed, and it will just print, like it will just execute the whatever the statement we have written below the for loop. So let's just see what happens here. Okay, that's it. So as you can see, it started with machine. If a machine is not matching with is, so it printed the machine thing. Then it went to learning. Learning is also not matching with is, so it printed learning. Now came the is. Is matching with is, obviously. So it break the for loop, like it exited the for loop, and whatever the statement is present just outside the for loop, it got executed. So we got a message end. So, okay. Now let's just imagine we want to like print all the even numbers from 1 to 11. Say, let's just say 1 to 10. We want to print all the even numbers. So what can be done is, or let's just say even and odd numbers. So what just we can say is, if we want to print odd numbers, so what our logic is, whichever number is not even, it's an odd number. That's it. So we can do here is, we can say continue. Okay, let's just for now remove this else part. Okay, so what we are doing here is we are checking all the numbers from 1 to 10, and if the number is divisible by 2, we are placing a continue statement over here. In the else part, or like in the other part, it will just print out the number. Like whatever the number is, it will print out. The number will be odd number because it is not an even number. So what the continue will do is, it will go out of this loop. It will skip all the instructions below it, like below continue, whatever the instructions are present. What instructions are present here? Only print I instruction is present. So it will skip that. It will skip that instruction, and it will enter into a new, like in the next iterable. So next number, it will take the next number in the range, and then it will print the end, like after exiting the loop. So let's just run and see what happens over here is, yeah, we got all the odd numbers over here. Now let's just say we say we want like odd numbers, but we want a condition like if the number is odd, we don't want to do anything. If the number is like if the number is odd, we don't want to do anything. If the number is even, just print it. So what can be done is if it is not equal to 0, like if it is not equal to 0, it is an odd number, right? So we just want it, like we just want to pass it and do nothing. And in the else part, we want to print that number, so that number would be even number, right? So that's what is the function of pass over here is. What pass does is whenever you're required to use certain syntax but you don't want to write any code inside it, at that time to create an empty block, we use the pass statement over here. So let's just see what happens over here. Yeah, we got all our even numbers. Why? Because it checks the condition if I%2 is not equal to 0. Like if the number is not an even number, just pass it. Like just ignore whatever the thing is. Else, in the else part, just print the number. So guys, that's it from this session. And thank you for watching. For more Python videos, refer to the Python playlist. Thank you.